So, if you've been watching these videos for a while, you may have noticed something that I've noticed when checking out the playback, which is that sometimes there's a delay between a thing happening and me saying something about it. And you might be thinking that's a difference in the mic audio and the gameplay. They're like not being synced. But I don't actually think that's the case. I think that's just me. Because I don't know, I don't think I've talked about this much on this channel yet, apart from on my home page. But I'm on the autism spectrum. And so, part of that is that it takes me a bit longer to process certain kinds of information. Now, I've developed enough reflexes, more or less, through repetitious playing of these games that I can manage to react in-game as I need to, for the most part. But that's, like, learned muscle memory and stuff. Actually, I think I want to repair a drone for that. Whereas things having to do with interacting with people, so like vocalization, talking, saying stuff about what's happening, that takes me a bit longer to decide to do compared to just like moving my fingers around. This is an awkward turret to get to. So I tend to have like the in-game responses as quickly as I need to. But saying something about what's happening takes a bit longer. Now, when something funny happens, and I have a genuine laugh reaction to it, that sometimes has a bit of a delay, but not as much as me talking. Because it just takes a bit of time for me to process the fact that something is funny. But it takes me a little bit longer to process and decide what to say about it.
It's your time to shine, Nova. Initiate the breach and upload the worm cluster.
The rest of you, keep the generator away from the console while Nova finishes her work.
Oh, I haven't got it. So I think that's what's happening. And so, there you go. Learn something about me.
Do this, guys!
And possibly something about autism. I don't know if that's... Well, I'm sure it is somewhat common, but I don't know how common it is. It's, something I often say when talking about traits about myself that I think are related to autism is I don't necessarily know how common they are. Because it's a condition that affects individuals in different ways. And different levels of intensity. And even the way that it impacts us can change over time. Because, like, when I was a child, I was, more severely autistic to the point that I was non-vocal. Like I was around the age of 5 before I started talking. Oh, this looks like a job for the dustbin. At least he's nice about killing them. And many of the autistic traits that I've had, at least since my 20s, have more or less stayed with me. I'm not considered severely autistic at this point. I'm more on the high-functioning or Asperger's level at this point. To the point that sometimes people don't even notice about me, but it is there. I think when I take a while to say stuff, people just assume that that's me being thoughtful and deep. Which, some of it is, at least I'd like to think so. Remote detonation. Oh, increase range of damage doing of the hurting. Yes, that.
We can really do this, guys!
I can't tell if I lost any buildables.